After nearly 20 years, Dexter, Original Sin has finally clarified one of the biggest misconceptions about Harry Morgan's past in the original Dexter. One of the most confusing parts about the original Dexter was why Harry Morgan didn't adopt Brian Moser. For years, it seemed like Harry simply didn't want Brian, and that he separated the brothers for no good reason. Brian offered his own view of the situation and why Harry let him be raised in a psychiatric facility, but Dexter, Original Sin has finally given an official reason for Harry's decision. Now that Brian Moser is confirmed to be the NHI killer, Original Sin has a chance to really dive into his past. The prequel series revealed more about Brian's infatuation with multicolored nails, his early psychotic tendencies, and even added to his list of confirmed kills. Original Sin also explored the reason Brian wasn't adopted by the Morgan family, and helped clear Harry's good name in the process. Now, after nearly 20 years, the truth of Harry's decision to only raise Dexter as his son has finally been revealed. Dexter, Original Sin reveals that Harry didn't just abandon Brian after Laura's death. Harry and Doris adopted both Dexter and Brian, but Brian was too dangerous to keep. As Original Sin Episode 9 revealed, Harry didn't actually completely abandon Brian. After Laura's death, Harry and Doris, Jasper Lewis, adopted both Brian and Dexter, and they tried to make it work for a while. They only gave Brian back to the state of Florida after he tried to smother baby Deb, smashed his hand through a window, and slapped Harry across the face. As Harry said, they couldn't handle this amount of trauma. Brian needed professional psychiatric help to deal with Laura's death, and Harry and Doris simply weren't equipped to give him that. Harry and Doris certainly made some mistakes with Brian. They could have taken him to a therapist before giving him back to the social worker, but they hardly abandoned him. In fact, both Harry and Doris went above and beyond in many respects. Harry could have simply let Brian and Dexter enter the foster system like normal, but he chose to bring them into his home and give them a chance at a normal life. Doris, likewise, could have refused to raise the children of the woman her husband had an affair with, but she realized Dexter and Brian needed a mother. Brian still blames Harry for separating him and Dexter. Brian is killing everyone who separated him from Dexter, and Harry could be next. Brian Moser, Roby Attle, laughing with blood covering his face in Dexter, Original Sin Season 1, Episode 9. Unfortunately, Brian Moser was either too young or too psychotic to realize that Harry wasn't really to blame for separating him from Dexter. As he told Dexter in Dexter Season 1, "You were 3, a little bird with a broken wing. Harry wanted to make you all better. But me, I could see it in his eyes. All they saw was a fucked up kid. They all did, so they locked me up." Brian clearly didn't realize or refuse to remember that his own violent outburst was the reason he was separated from Dexter. He also clearly still blamed Harry for his childhood troubles. Brian's spotty memory of how he was separated from Dexter could cause some major problems in Original Sin. It's now clear that Brian is targeting everyone he blames for separating him from Dexter as a child, which certainly includes Harry. Brian has already killed his therapist, his nurse at the psychiatric facility, and Barb, Kathleen Rose Perkins, the social worker who agreed to remove Brian from the Morgan home. He'll probably have Harry or even Bobby Watt, Reno Wilson, in his crosshair next, which could lead to a major confrontation in the Dexter, Original Sin Season 1 finale.